This week, we've seen Donald Trump's latest travel ban blocked yet again by a judge, his health care bill start to fall apart, and his wiretapping claims debunked. And now, on top of all that, he unveiled a drastic new budget plan that slashes anti-poverty programs. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. Trump headed back out onto the campaign trail last night for his second official campaign event as president, holding a rally in Tennessee. What was Trump so pumped about? Maybe it's all the good news he's been getting this week on some of his biggest priorities.
The Trump administration and his priorities are under assault tonight. The president is facing a potential loss on health care.
A poll from Fox News finds that only 35% approve of President Trump's handling of health care.
Today, members of President Trump's own party are openly challenging his claim that Trump Tower had been wiretapped under the orders of President Barack Obama.
Breaking news, a federal judge has just put a temporary halt to President Trump's new travel ban.
We're going to win so much. You are going to get so sick and tired of winning.
Are you sick of winning yet? Because if you are, you better get to the doctor before Trump takes away your health care. So, Trump keeps on stumbling on everything from health care to immigration to his wiretapping claims, and yet Trump keeps insisting that he's getting so much done.
We're keeping our promises. In fact, they have signs. He's kept his promise. They're all over the place. I have. We have done far more. I think maybe more than anybody's done in this office in 50 days. That I can tell you.
Trump has done more in office the way a toddler helps out in the kitchen. He may be trying, but by the time he leaves, there's snot on the fridge and a shoe in the dishwasher. Of course, rather than explain to his supporters how he plans to move forward on the travel ban or health care, Trump once again attacked the media. In fact, at one point during his rally, after the crowd booed the mention of Obamacare, Trump concocted an elaborate fantasy about how the media would report on the incident.
At the very core of Obamacare was a fatal flaw. The government forcing people to buy a government-approved product. There are very few people. Very few people. And by the way, watch what happens. Now, you just booed Obamacare. They will say Trump got booed when he mentioned. They're bad people, folks. They're bad people. Tonight I'll go home, I'll turn on, I'll say, listen, I'll turn on that television. My wife will say, darling, it's too bad you got booed.
The craziest part of that fantasy is that he thinks when he goes home to the White House, his wife will be there. She lives in New York, bro. Are you coming to D.C. this week? No, it's crazy. All the flights are booked. In fact, Trump's complaints and paranoia about his bad press have now become almost incoherent. Last night, he gave an interview to Fox News and complained about how the positive reviews to his speech to Congress 2 weeks ago were followed by more bad stories. See if you can make sense of anything he's saying here.
That speech was hot for about 2 or 3 hours after the speech was made because they came up with other things having to do with other people that they shouldn't have been able to do and they shouldn't have done. But they did it. And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
No. No one knows what you're talking about. You're so paranoid about wiretapping that you talk like a mafia don afraid the feds are listening. Someone did something he wasn't supposed to do, so some people had to do a thing to him to make sure no one ever else does that thing again. I'll see you at the place. Kaboom. Trump also complained. He complained that it was difficult to get things done in Washington because the political climate has become so toxic.
We're never going to get a Democrat vote. They're never going to vote for us because they hate the Republicans, probably hate me. Probably?
No, dude, they hate you. Have you seen the protests? They hate you so much they're willing to spend free weekends in the airport. So Trump complained about the hatred of the current political climate, and then on the same night at his rally in Tennessee, as he defended his travel ban, he lapsed into one of his favorite routines from the campaign, bashing Hillary Clinton.
The law and the Constitution give the president the power to suspend immigration when he deems, or she, fortunately, it will not be Hillary she.
Wow, you guys are still doing Lock Her Up. But hey, I get it. When you go see Billy Joel, you want to hear Piano Man. Also, she lives in the woods now. Locking her up would be an upgrade. Ooh, a roof. So Trump keeps losing, and yet he still doesn't seem to understand why he keeps losing. Take the travel ban, for example. Yesterday at his rally, Trump read the law aloud to his supporters and insisted that anyone could understand it, even the people in the audience who he said weren't that smart.
Can I read this to you? Listen to this. Now, we're all smart people. We're all good students. We're all everything. Some are bad students, but even if you're a bad student, this is a real easy one, let me tell you.
I love how Trump is willing to go in front of his voters and tell them, some of you are idiots. It reminds me of the famous quote from John F. Kennedy.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. And if you're too stupid to understand that, ask a friend what I meant. And then ask yourself why you're so dumb. And if you can't answer that, you're an idiot.
So the prospects for Trump's travel ban going forward don't seem great. And then there's this health care bill. It's widely unpopular in polls and facing higher odds of defeat in Congress. In fact, at his rally yesterday, it almost seemed as though Trump regretted trying to repeal Obamacare, expressing a desire to focus on tax reform instead.